Welcome guys to your very first tutorial in Android programming, and in this lecture we will be learning how to make a basic Android application or Hello World application. To do this, start your Android Studio. You you must be having Android Studio and Java JDK path setup for this. To make a new Android application, hit double click on start a new Android Studio project. What all these fields are, let me tell you first. This is your application name. So my application would be named as my app, my app. This is basically company domain. So mine is FID.in, and you can check that package name is already generated by the system, and this package name must be unique if you want to upload your application to Google Play Store. This package name must be unique. Project location is where my project is saved. So my project is saved in C users spider Android Studio projects slash my app. Hit next. In this form, the Android Studio wants us to tell for which platform actually we are building our application. So if you want to make your application which will run on phone and tablet, you can hit this. If you want to make application for TV, you can hit this. Or if you want to make application for wear like watches and other things which are wearable on our body, you can click on this. But in this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make application for phone and tablet. So click it, and this is the minimum SDK. Okay, let me tell you what is minimum SDK means. Here you can see a bunch of SDK and API levels are available. So what all these things are? Actually, when Android has started, the initial API level was 1 and the device named as Android 1.0. But now you can see many upgraded version of Android are available in the market. So for which platform do you want to make the application? So as you can see, most of the Android phones available in the market is above or 4. Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich. So I'll be choosing this version. You can see a graph here that above this 90.4% of mobile phones are having this configuration. So I'll be making my app run on all these platforms, and you can see here it is written 90.4% run on approximately 90.4% of devices. So hit next. In the later lectures I'll be teaching you what the activity is and how to handle it, but for now click on blank activity and hit next. The activity name, layout name, title and menu. So what all these things are will be taught in the next lecture, but for now we are creating our basic application, our first application. So just hit finish. Okay, let me tell you that every application should have a main activity. So don't try to rename it, just hit finish. And as soon as you finish, the Gradle will start loading your application. It will set up all the indexes and save your application to the specific path. And you can see that in here Android Studio projects, my application, my app is here. Okay, now you can see this screen. What is written here? Activity underscore main.xml. Basically, this file is responsible for how your application is looking on the main screen and what all background processes will be done in main activity.java. I'll teach you guys all these stuffs in my later lectures, but now we want to run our application. So to do this, you need to set up an virtual device on which you will be testing your application. So create a virtual device. I'll be creating on Nexus 4, or for you guys, I'll be creating a new hardware file only, and my device name will be Spider. It will be 4 or tablet. Screen size will be 4.0 inches, and resolution will be, okay, let me tell you what the resolution is. How your screen will be looking. You can see that 1000 resolution is this pixels, sorry, 1000. So I will keep my 640 into 480 so that it may not be using much of my RAM, and RAM will be 1 GB, and hit OK. You can see my AVD is here. Hit next, and now which platform I want to install in my AVD. I'll be installing ice cream sandwich, and hit next. Hit finish, and you can see that my AVD is created. Hit this small play button and your AVD will start. Close this window. It may take time to start the virtual device. Till then, I will show you guys what all these fields are. XML is basically how your phone will be, or your application will be looking on any phone. So let me show you how my application will be looking. See, when I will start the application, it will say hello world like this. And what all the activities will be done by this application will be written here. You can see the phone is getting started. Here are a number of folders. You can see an application, manifest, Java, resource, and in resources also you can see this drawable. Here we will be keeping all our images which we will be using in our application. And in Java we are having a test. Here we will be testing all our application, what all changes we'll be doing in our application. In manifest, what is the manifesto of our application? It is written here in an XML format. It is still loading. In activity underscore main.xml, you can see there are two types how you can design your application. Either you choose a text format or design format. In text format, you have to write all the codes that how your application will be looking. And in design format, you can just drag and drop whatever you want. Like I want this to be here. This is basically text box, and what I want to write in this text box. Okay, first I have to give the ID is test. So my text will be here, and I will be writing hello new text. Hit enter. Okay. So now my screen will be looking like this. If you are starting your AVD for the very first time, it may take much time to get started. So don't hit close. Just wait for AVD to get started, because once it gets started, you can do all your stuff. It is taking much time to get started for the very first time because my Android version 4.0 is being installed, and that's why it is taking much time. Okay, now you can see my Android application is started. So click OK, and this is my virtual device on which I'll be running all my applications and testing them. So I already tell you that it may take some time because it is starting for the very first time. Okay, you can see the AVD has started. Okay, so now when you have set up your AVD, let's check it's running good. So now it's turn to check our application. So go to this play button. It will assemble all your application files and put them in a bundle named as .apk, and then it will install on this virtual device. You can see two process running: Gradle executing task, app assemble debug, and now it is asking me on which device do you want. So this device is running state online, so I'll hit OK and see the Android Studio had started installing my application in .spidey.myapp on my local emulator. Success, that means my application is being installed, and you can see my app hello world, and this also hello new text which I have written. Okay, so this was basically my first application in Android. Thank you guys for watching. Meet you in next tutorials.